Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Rajesh Yadav, and in today's video I am going to cover one more scenario based question, and that will be on telecom domain data. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, this is about me. So I have 10 years of experience and I have 4 SAS certifications. Let's move on to the next slide. So guys, if you want to learn SAS, you can contact me on my mobile number. That's my WhatsApp number, and you can also email me. So guys, if you are preparing for SAS interview, you can ask for a SAS interview session, and you can contact me on my WhatsApp number and on my email address. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay guys, so this is the project request, and I'm going to explain this. Okay, so the first thing is the request number, then the domain is the telecom, and this is what business wants. So business wants to create new strategies for their customers, and they want some data to understand customers. So the first requirement is use telecom data and provide customer gain in first 4 months of 2022. And the second one is use telecom data and provide customer loss in first 4 months of 2022 data. So we have 4 months of telecom data, and using that data we need to find out the total customer gain by each operator. So mobile operator can be, in India we have Jio, we have Airtel, we have Idea and various other operators. So this data contains customer information, those requested for telecom operator change. And the third request is find out frequent customers who ported their numbers multiple times in first 4 months of 2022. So there may be people who ported their number from one network provider to the other multiple times in first 4 months of 2022. So business wants to know all these customers and find out all the problems and why people have ported their number multiple times. So they want to address that problem. Location of the input data file is C drive, users, Rajesh Yadav, desktop, telecom data. So this is the location where the data is present. And the input files are telecom data month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, XLSX. So data is in Excel format. So once we do all the analysis and we generate the output data, then we need to save the data or report the data in XLSX file. So output file format is XLSX or Excel. So let's first understand the data. Data is in Excel file. So you will see this is a screenshot of the data file. So it has 6 variables: request number, mobile number, old operator, new operator, request start date, and request complete date. So if we see the second number row, let's understand this what is happening. So request 3725, mobile number is this, and the old operator was Idea, and the customer requested to port his or her number into Jio. So the new operator is Jio, and the request start date was 1/1/2022 and request completed on 5/1/2022. So if you understand this, then this is a customer gain for Jio. So Jio got the new customer and Idea lost his customer. So now we understand that if we want to find out the customer gain, we will be using new operator column. And if we want to find out the customer loss, then we will be using old operator variable or column. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So guys, let's start the coding. Let's go into the SAS, and here is the SAS, and let's create new program. Okay, so let's first see where is our files. So files are on desktop telecom data. So these are the files: 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 months of data we have. So we will be importing these 4 files first. So let's first open and check what is in the file. So as I showed you in while understanding the data, so these are the 6 variables, and these are the request, mobile number, Geo, new operator, old operator, new operator, request start date, request complete date. And the worksheet name is sheet 1. Okay, just remember that we will be using while importing the data. Let's close this and let's write the code now. So the first thing we will be going to do is we'll import the first file. So how we will import the first file? We'll use proc import data file equal, let's go and copy the location. So that's the location. We'll copy this, put it here, and then we'll copy the file name, and quickly we'll do backward slash xxlsx. So the file location is done. Now we will be doing, if we want to create a output data, so in when we read where the data that we imported will be stored, it will be stored in out equal, let's give a data set name. So data set name will give the same name. So SAS data set name will be telecom data month 1. Now what type of data we have? So we'll give dbms equal xlsx. Okay, you can give Excel also. Now next is replace. Why we are giving replace? Because if we run this code multiple times, every time this data set will be replaced with this file. So if there is a change in the file, let's align this one. So if there is a change in the file, in this file, then we'll run it and it will capture this. Next thing we will be doing is we'll tell the SAS where is our sheet. So the sheet name is sheet 1. Remember we checked, so this we will need to give in quotation. So this is the way we can import the data. So let's run this section and see if it runs fine. See, it has imported the data correctly. Let's scroll this a little bit so that we can see all the variables. So it has imported the first data correctly. But the thing is, like, we have this data, but how do we get to know that it has what months data it has contained? We know that it's containing January month's data. So let's add a new variable that will show which month of data it is. So we'll create a new variable month, and data set name is, we have just created, so name is telecom data month, and it is showing here. So I'll write a data step and we'll add a new variable. So I'm just using the same data set. So if data, then data set name, then set, and the same data set name, and I'll creating a new variable called month. Let's use month equal, and I'll use the put, and I'm using this variable request start date. Copy the variable name, right click on how I copied, just right click on this one, go properties, and it will show you the name of the variable. Copy this one and put. You can type also, but while typing we generally make mistakes, so that's why I want to avoid that. What format we need to use? MON NAME, so that is called month name. So it will extract the month from this date, and then it will put the full name. And put, we know that put and input functions to convert, put function converts numeric values to character values. So we have done this, everything seems fine. Let's run this and see if it's working fine. See at the end, see it has added the month at the end, so it is fine. So now we have imported one file. If we copy this one for the second file, just put this. What I need to do is just change the file name, because in the folder, if you check, second file has only 2, 3, 4, so everything is same, only the at the name of the file we are adding numeric value, that is changing 2, 3, 4. So in the SAS code, all we need to do is just copy this one and put 2 here and 2 here, here 2, here 2. So now if I run this one, this section, see at the end, see it's a February month data, I'll just copy this one, and this one is 3, and this one is 3, this one is 3, this one is 3. Run this one, and we have imported the third months of data, that is March. And let's copy this one again, and here we'll put 4, 4, here 4, and here 4, and run this one. So now you see we have the April month's data. Okay, so we have imported all 4 months of data. Let's save this program because I don't want to get any surprises. So let's save it on my computer, and desktop, no desktop, I'll save it into the telecom data, and that is telecom project code. I'll give this name and save it. All right, so now we have the data for 4 months, and we need to do analysis for all 4 months. So that's why we need to combine all the data. So it's very easy. I'll just go data, and I'll put, just give some information here. So how you add the comments? It's very simple. You just need slash, then star, and then you can type combine monthly telecom data, and then forward slash, and then star, and then forward slash. So this way you can do, and the other way is you just need to do press control and then the forward slash. So you will get it. If you want to remove, then control shift and forward slash. So it will remove, control forward slash add, control shift forward slash remove. So it's up to you. If you want to do it quickly, you can use these shortcuts. Okay, let's combine this. So I'll combine this data, telecom data, then I will use set, and I'll use these 4 data sets. So I'll just rename it 1, 2, 3, and 4. So guys, good thing here is because we are combining, this means we are appending. So in this one file, the first data that will be copied is month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4. So data will be kind of in sorted way. So in this one, first is January month, second February, March, and April. So it's a good thing that data is coming as monthly. Let's run this and see. So it's combined, and now if you'll see, we have total 200 observations. So 2020, or I don't know how many observations, 50 something observations are there. So that's why 50 multiply 4 equal 200. If you see at the end, it's showing January month, then February month, March, and April. So data is combined, and we are ready to solve our question. So let's solve the first question. What is the first question? We'll go and check onto the project. So use telecom data and provide customer gain in first 4 months of 2022. So we know that already discussed that new operator will show the customer gain. So how would I generate the customer gain analysis? So for that we will be using one procedure called procfrac. Solution 1, total customer gain by operators. Just run procfrac. Frac means frequency. Data equal, we will be using this data because we combined all 4 months of data in this one. Then we'll be using tables on which we want to do the analysis. So we will be using monthly analysis. So we'll use month, and then on which variable we have our operator gain. information, so that's a new operator, right? You can use tab also if you want to, if you do not want to write. Then you need to use / and then list. You can type missing. If you have any missing information in the data, it will show the missing information for that one. Rest, just semicolon and run. And run this section and see what will happen. So it will show you one report. So it is showing here that this is April month. This is the April month information. So Airtel, Idea and Geo. So Airtel gained 23 customer, Idea 7 and Geo 20. So it's a monthly report we have generated, and the total percentage is 11%, 3%, 10% and 10% and 11% in March. So the data is not showing as per the order. It should show January, February, March, April. We'll see how we can sort this one. Then we have here after the percentage we have cumulative frequency. So we do not want this cumulative frequency. So what we need to do is here we can use no cum. So no cum means no cumulative. Run this one. Now we have frequency and percent. So data is good. Now we will sort this. Let's try and sort it. So here we have option called order, and since our data is in sorted order, I mentioned you while combining, so month 2, month 3, month 4. So data is in sequence while we were combining. So I will use order equal data. There are other options also. You can try and understand those, but use data. Now you see it's showing January, February, March, April. So month wise operator gain we are able to calculate. Now what we need to do is, it's just a HTML report. If you see here, HTML telecom project, so it's showing HTML. So we want this information to be written into the output data. So if you want to write this into output data, you need to use here out equal, give the data set name. I'm giving a name CUS customer, CUSTOMER, customer gain. Let's run this and see if it has created the data set in SAS. So it has created data set. How will you see? Click here. So output data 1. So this one it has created count and percentage. So we have output data set. All we need now is just write this data into an Excel file. So to write a data in Excel file, what we will use? We will use proc export. So proc export data equal, what data? We have used this. Fine. Now where you want to write, so you need to use out file equal, then similar to this here we use input file. So in the same folder, let's in the same folder here, let's write the output also or solution. So let's copy the location and just go here and put it. Okay, now what should be the name of Excel file? So let's give it a name like customer gain.xlsx. Put it here .xlsx. So this is what we mention in our requirement. Next thing is we'll mention what type of data we have, database. So dbms equal xlsx. Okay, if we run this program, should this file be replaced? Yes, so we'll mention replace. And this is done. Let's run this one. Let's go and check in the folder. So this file has been created. Let's open this and check. So see, it has created the output file, and you can see the total customer gain is showing here. So one question we are able to solve. Now the second one we will be solving, and that too is total customer loss. So we already have everything we done here. All we need to do is just copy this one and copy paste solution to. Okay, so this is the way we do. So we'll write it here, loss. So guys, if you are an experienced programmer, you do not write it every time. You just copy it, paste it, and change whatever is required. So telecom data order, and instead of new operator, you will mention old operator. So old operator variable will give you the customer loss. Sorry, this and list missing. Here we'll gain, will mention loss. And in the file name here in proc export, I'll mention loss. Here I will mention loss. See, so how easy this question to be. Let's run this. So now you will see it's a loss, and you will run this and you will get the data in output file. So this file we have generated. Now open this one. Now you'll see in January month Idea lost 28 customers, that is percentage is 14%, and Airtel loss 11, that is 5.5, and Geo loss only 8, and BSNL lost only 3. So you can generate the output this way. So we are able to solve two questions. Now the third question is, what is the third question? We need to find out, let's go into the slide and check what is the find out frequent customers who ported their numbers multiple times in first 4 months. So we have our data and we'll need to find out all the people who have ported their number more than once. So I'll just use solution 3, put it here, and then 3 total customers who ported their number multiple times. So all we need to do is, because we have 4 months data, so if a person has ported their number multiple times, so their mobile number should show multiple times. So all we need to do is we need to find out the people who are multiple times. People means mobile number. So guys, be careful, these numbers are not correct. I just made those dummy numbers. Okay, these looks like a correct number, but these are not the real numbers. I just generated the mobile numbers in Excel. Okay, so let's first sort the data. Sort data equal telecom data. Where is that? Sorry, this one is the data, and we'll be sorting it by mobile number. Use by and mobile number, then tab. So now we have all the data and this is sorted. So all the duplicate number will be together. Let's see if we can see manually here any duplicate number. Here you can see this number is duplicate. So we just need to keep these two records like this, whatever duplicate we have, and rest that are not duplicate will delete them. So if you see this one, this is not duplicate. This is not duplicate. So whatever records that are not duplicate, we will delete and we'll keep only the duplicate ones. So how we will do that? So we use first dot last concept to do that. If you do not know the first dot last concept, you can watch my video on that. I'll put the link in description section. Let's data duplicate customer set. I'll use this, and we know that if we want to use first dot last concept, we need to use by and the variable number. So that's mobile number, and that variable data should be sorted by the by variable. So that's why we already sorted this by mobile number. Now it's pretty simple. You need to use if first dot mobile number equal 1, and last mobile number equal 1, then delete. So now this line will delete the unique records and keep only the duplicate ones. So if I run this one, see here, if you see here, these are all duplicates. So if you see this person, initially this person has idea operator, and then that person requested this to be ported into Airtel on 2/10/2022 and 2/14 this request was completed. So it's in Airtel, and that person again requested to change from Airtel to Jio from March. That person used services of Airtel for 1 month, and then he decided to port this again to a new operator, that is Jio, and that is completed on 3/7/2022 in March. If you see this person, he was initially in Airtel, then moved to Jio, and then again this person moved from Jio to Airtel. So we can see the frequent customers. So these are all total 24 observations. Let's write this data into output file. So use again proc export. I'm not going to write it from scratch. What I will use, I'll just go use and duplicate customer. I copied the previous proc. Just copy here, duplicate customer, and here I'll change its name. What I will use, I'll go and check what we are doing, find out the frequent customers. So I'll use frequent underscore customers dot xlsx. Everything is fine. Just run, and we have generated the output. So now we have frequent customers. So we are able to solve 3 questions. So you can see February, March, January. Okay. And we can share those files to the business, those 3 files, and we have solved. So I hope guys you understand this. But I would say for a new developer, a new programmer, this method is okay. For an experienced programmer, I don't find this a very good way. If someone will show that I have 3 years of experience, 4 years of experience, 5 years of experience, I would not expect that the person should use proc import like these steps that are repetitive steps again and again. So what we can do, because we are importing one file, second file, third file here initially, so we can use or create macros to do this work. Okay, and our program would become better. So let's rewrite this program with macros, with the help of macros. So I'll use a new program, create new. Okay, so the first one, what we are doing, I'll just copy this one and just put it here. Okay, so I'm importing the first file. So I'll create a macro, because what we are doing here, we have the file names are almost similar, only thing we are changing here 1 2 3, and data set name also we are changing here 1 2 3. If you want to check this, you can go back and check here. They see data set name is almost same. Here in the second one we are just changing here 2 2. So if you automate this thing, then we do not need to write this 4 times. We can do it in one go. Let's create a macro. So first I'll create one macro variable %let and location, and I'll just put this location till here, not the file name, this one, and I'll just put it here. So this is done. I have the location, so I can just go back until here. All I need to do is just I can use a macro variable ampersand location. See, and I can put this dot. Now I have this file name, so I can use I can change this file name also. I'll change it when I'll create a macro. So let's create a macro first. So how we create, we'll use macro, and we'll mention import data, import file is the macro name. I'll use parameters because I need the file name, this one. So I'll mention file name as the macro name, macro variable name, and the second one is data set name. So I'll give data set name. So two variable I need. So here with file name, I'll just mention, and I'll mention ampersand. Where is the ampersand? Yes. So I have location is coming from here, and file name I'll pass when I'll call the macro. Second dataset name. So I'll, instead of out, I'll just mention the dataset name, ampersand. See, so this one is done. Second thing what I want to do is I'll want to do this thing where I am adding the month name in the data. So I'll just write here. So instead of dataset name, I'll use this dataset name, and here, and rest things are fine. And I'll just move it a bit as a formatting here, and I'll use percent mend and then the macro name. So this one is done. So we're able to actually write a macro one. Now we will call this one. How we will call? Percent import file. We are passing two parameters. One is the file name, that's this one. So what is the file name? Pick it from the first one. So that's this one is the file name till XLSX. So I will go and use this one. And second, what we are creating data set. So I'll just go back and pick the name of the data set and close this one. Semicolon is not required. We created, let's run this one. It's showing error. We'll see. Okay, where we missed a semicolon? It's fine, here we missed a semicolon. Anywhere else we missed a semicolon? No. Run this. Okay, so we have run it. Let's rerun it again. See, so this one is fine. It has imported the file. You can see the January month is showing. So since we have created the macro, we do not need to write this thing 4 times. All we need to write is this. Let's write it 4 times. 4. All we need to do is just change the file name to, and here 2 3 3 and 3 4 and 4. Now all I need to do is just run it. See, it has imported for all 4 files. So you do not need to write this proc import 4 times or a data step 4 times. All you need to do is just, while you are calling the macro, you just need this line to be called 4 times. So every time we are just changing the file name and data set name. So you can see this is our old project that when we first developed. So this one till here. Okay, till here we were doing a coding repetitive work, and with the help of macro we just use this line. See how small your code is now, and this will show that you have the good experience in programming. Rest thing what we can do, we can use this the same step again, no change we require. And the next thing is just use this proc frac. Now you can, if you want, you can automate this thing also, but I'm not doing that because it will take more time. You can try yourself. Next thing, we can automate this proc export. We can, because we are using 4-5 times this. So we will use percent macro export file, and we already have this. So file name we can give file name comma and then the output data set name, and then the export one So here is the export. So I'll just use export and put it here, and all we need to do is, so the data set name is this, pick this and put it here, and file name is this, we'll put it here, put ampersand, and here also with the output data set put ampersand, and this is the same location we use at the top, location variable, macro variable, just remove this one, remove and put ampersand and location dot. So now this one is done. Let's align this one, and if you want to align it with, you can align it properly. I'll align this way, I'll align like that. So if you see, it's aligned properly. Fine, fine, fine. So our export is done. I'll use percent manned export file and semicolon. I'll call this macro export underscore file, and then put the file name. What should be the file name? Pick it from here. So that's the customer gain.xlsx. Pick this from here, and then dataset name. So this is the dataset name. You can check the dataset name here also. Order customer gain. So this is the dataset name we are generating. So I'll put it here, and this we do not require semicolon. So we are passing parameters, and these are positional parameter. So you can see I am passing file name in this position. Here I am getting the file name in this position. So the first position for file name, first position for file name, second position for output dataset name. This is output dataset name. I use this. Let's run this. See, everything is fine. No missing semicolons. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Here we do not require a semicolon. Okay. Run this one. See, no errors. Nothing. Just go here and check. So customer gain is written. See, the data is there. That's okay. Now go here. You already created a macro. So rest of the programming, if you do like second one, for the second question, this is the solution we used, customer loss. So I'll just put it here. I don't need this proc export now because I already created a macro. I'll call that macro again and again, only changing the file name. So I put it here. What should be the file name? File name is customer loss. Copy this one, and then dataset name customer loss. This is done. I don't need this. See, now I do not require proc export to be used multiple times. I use this line. Run this one. It's generated the output. If you go and see, customer loss is created. Now just go and use the solution that we are going to implement is the third one. So 2 is done. Just go here in third. So this was the whole solution. I just go, and then everything is fine. So this proc export, I'll replace it with our macro that I have created. So this one is export file, put it here. What is the file name? Frequent customers.xlsx, put it here. And what is the dataset name? Duplicate customer, put it here. I don't need this, delete this one. And all I need to do is just run these 3 steps. It's run, fine, no error. And the third file is this frequent customer we are able to generate. So now you can see that the program is very small, and this is having some advanced stuff. We are using macro. So wherever we have repetitive steps, we just created macro and automated those steps. Let's save this one. and use telecom data and telecom project automated. So this time we automated some of the areas. You can also automate because we are using this proc frac 2 times here. So you can create a macro called frequency report or something, and then here what you are using the data set name that is same, and then you are using these two variables. These are changing, so you can pass. So month is fixed, this variable is changing, so you can new operator and old operator one. You can pass this variable in macro and you do not need to write this proc frac again and again. So I hope guys this project has given you good understanding of SAS, how you work on SAS questions, scenario based questions, what should be your approach while doing this. Yeah, this is not very well formatted, but you can format it well. Almost it's fine, but some of the areas like here you need to give space before and after of equal sign, so it will show, it will be visible clearly here. Mostly this is formatted fine, so I'll save this one and let's go back to our presentation. So we have solved these 3 questions and we've created the output file also. Let's move on to the next. Okay, so we have the request number 4. So this is the question guys you need to solve. So what is the fourth number is find out all requests that did not meet their SLA of 4 days. Okay, so in 4 months data we have combined the data, and in the combined data, let's go here, the combined data, I'll explain this what I need you to solve. So see these are the requests. So you see that this request, it started on 1/1/2022 and finished on 1/5. So it took 5 days to be finished. SLA is 4 days. That means this request should be completed in 4 days. So that means this request was failed to complete on time. So in this the whole report, I just wanted to know how many requests that did not completed on time of 4 days. So it's a simple one. All you need to do is just to calculate the difference between both dates and then check the difference is more than 4 days. Okay. Use date functions, check intnx, intck, or whatever you can think of and solve this question. If you need this data files, you can email me on my email address that is mentioned at start of this video, and I'll provide you the project data, these 4 files, and you can practice all these 3 questions as well as the fourth one you can solve yourself. If you have any questions or if you're able to solve it, then please mention in the comment section that you understood this project or you solved this project, or this project is helpful for you to gain good practice, good experience. Or if you like my videos, just please hit the like button so that it will motivate me to create more videos. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel or forward this video to your friends, whoever wants to learn SAS or who is already learning SAS and wants to get a good practice. And you can contact if you're facing any difficulty in SAS and you wanted to get more clarification regarding SAS. So I'll be there to help you guys. Okay guys, so we'll meet in the next video. Till that time, bye and take care.